Hey everybody, we are back. It is July. My schedule has been wild and I have not been able to run a show for any of you, but I'm here now. We're here for the morning. We're here for a little while. Got a bunch of stuff to talk about. News. We're also talking about what's going on in EFP land. And then, of course, some Gen Con news. I will be there this year running a couple games with Rage Fire. We'll go into that more here in just a little bit. So kick back, get some coffee or a beer, depending on where you are. Maybe it's Wisconsin. And I'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. All right, everybody, are we ready for this? All right, I'm done with this timer. Let's get this on the road. What is up, everybody? Welcome to January? Oh shit, July? I'm kidding, everybody. July 17th, 2025. With EFP Live, we're gonna be going over a bunch of stuff today. But mostly I just wanted to sit and chat for a couple minutes because I haven't been live with you guys on EFP. Oh, the Jets. God damn it. Since, I think, last month on the 25th. So work has been taking all my Wednesdays up. So I'm going to be shuffling EFP Live, I think Tuesday is what I'm aiming to. I couldn't do it this Tuesday. But from here on out, through summer, and once this summer job ends, I'll go back to the normal schedule. So this happens every summer, but I had to find a day that's going to work. But we're here today. So we got a bunch of stuff to go over, a bunch of new news, 2 new Kickstarters, technically, backer kits. And then the game jam. I want to talk a little bit about the licensing for Daggerheart. Just a bunch of stuff that has been going on in the background. I have been printing zines like crazy. I now have 20 zines that I need to print covers for, spray them, fold them, and get all those viced with Kyle's new vice, along with labeling them and getting all that kind of stuff done. And then I printed the first Berserker one. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago? And that looks really good. So I think I'm going to do the Berserker and the Cartographer as well. Cartographer class, I just finished the backup for locations. That'll get updated on the Patreon for all the Patreon members this month, along with the start of Daggerheart. I'm going to do the framework. It's going to be behind closed doors for now until they change their license. But I've already done a layout, got everything set up. I'll take you guys through that here as well today, just so you can see what's going on. We can actually, you know, we can start there. We'll start there. I'm going to turn the music down to touch in here. So we'll go over to that. How's everybody doing? You guys all doing well? Is everything good? You guys doing good? I've been, like I said, hella busy because of summer. Buds has been busy. Today, yesterday I got rained out. I got the press over here. Hold on. I don't know. I have it sitting on my other desk over here. See? I got all the knobs in, all the little... This is where you tie the strings off. The bottom. And this is the press piece. And then these two open. Or I'm on the wrong screen. Hold on. These two open. So you can press things in them. And then I've also got it to where I can set it up on blocks and press it high. So... Oh, dude, yesterday, too, I felt like garbage yesterday. I just printed 2 more copies off this morning. So good morning. So I got 2 more copies here. This is what they look like. I don't know if I've shown this. This is what they look like before I do everything. All hand-folded, increased. Yeah, this is what they look like before. And I won't put them in the press until I got a cover stapled on them. That's really the best time to use it, because you can really make sure they fold over it. It's pretty sweet. Thought it was a fun build. Telling you, man, make them and pimp that you're making them, put them on Etsy or something, because I know other bookbinders need them, and not all bookbinders are woodcrafters. Like, I don't have a shop. You know what I mean? Like, I've done a lot of wood and metal. The precious pre-cuts, yeah. Yep. They're stacked all neatly with a book on them right now. That's how it usually is. Yeah, I made iced coffee today. I needed coffee today. I haven't had any in a couple days. It's been good. It's been good. We have super chats in here now. I now have access to making the YouTube store. That's on my list of things to do. And once we got that done, we'll have some stuff here in the shop here, like the general things. I think the EFP shirt will go on here. The Breacher shirt will go on here, but I think I have to do it through a different printer. I don't get to do it through my printer. I don't think I can link Printful. So it's probably gonna be through Fourth Wall, because a lot of the people I know use Fourth Wall. The quality is really good. So for some basic stuff, I'll do it that way. I have new Breacher shirts coming out here soon. All that kind of stuff. It's gonna be a special one. Special one. Yeah, it's been busy. Oh, Darrington Press has made an announcement. I'm gonna read this. Hey everyone, after watching our three master tile drafters craft their Solaris gardens, wanted to make one of your own. Signed to play at Gen Con, then swing by booth 284. Check out Daggerheart, see the demo games, and so much more. Oh, this is just their Daggerheart stuff. Oh, okay. I was hoping it was about their license, which we're going to get into today. I was reading over on Discord. Their license is... I'm not comfortable with it. Kyle and I... not Kyle, sorry. Kree and I have talked about it a decent amount. And we were actually just talking about it in our general Discord, if you haven't seen it. We think they definitely need to separate out their chat, or their license, between TTRPG and digital. And a lot of companies who are really wanting to do digital stuff should do that. But they don't. It's fucking annoying. I've been getting a lot of random text messages. Lot of text messages that are junk mail that I've been like having to block and delete and shit lately. But anyway, so I got a bunch of stuff to go over. One of them, I think I'm going to try to get them on to do an interview. But I wanted to start with some Mythic Bastionlands news. We're going to have back-to-back for Chris McDowell. So the first thing, if you did not see the live show, guess it's for sale now, everybody. You can go get your Mythic Bastionlands now. That's right. This beauty. Bigger. I thought it was going to be an A5. But it's a full size. It's got a ribbon. The art is just as beautiful as everything else. Hey, look, here's a free night, actually. Super gorgeous. They really nailed this book, man. And the covers have got that one that has all of the art for the omens on this side. And this side has all of the art that is... oops. If I can do this right. There we go. All of the knights. Super gorgeous. So this is out now too. If you didn't get your copy, I think it's available for sale on Mythic Bastionlands, or on Bastionland Press, I think it technically is. And speaking of this, and since we've been having Squires, I won't ruin Monday's show, but it was wild if you have not seen it. Oh my god, we had a guest star. Allie was on. Brianna was out. She will be back this Monday, so we'll have our full cast with us, which will be great. But check this. He made D72 Squires. You got it. Just like we have the knights, and we have those charts of knights, he went through and made really like personality-based Squires. So if we roll a D6 and a D12, it'll give us a Squire. And I'm going to be using this for guests and Squires that appear on screen. Which I'm excited, because I don't have a Squire now. So now we need a new Squire. Because once this tournament's done and they solve this, I think Allie will be around for the Omen to solve the myth. And then we'll have everything. I'm excited. Yes, it was insane, dude. It was insane. I really enjoyed that. I really like Mythic Bastionlands. The game plays so well on screen. So well on screen. So, check this out. This is his... So this is going to go to Bastionland Press afterwards, which here, hold on, let me pull that up. I'm not part of his Patreon, because I really enjoy him as a designer. I think he's a fantastic designer. So this is Bastionland Press. Let's go here. So you got Mythic Bastionlands and Electric Bastionlands. This is his first book. This is his second book. So these are both available now on his catalog. You can buy them, order them, and I think they're shipping US and UK. So order from US, Canada, America. He did what I did, though. They divided it because they have two different areas to buy tariffs. So they basically sent him two different warehouses to ship them. So then we're going to talk a little bit about some other stuff going on shipping here in news, but So you can pick that up now. That's out. I'll put this in chat. If anybody wants this book, it is worth every fucking penny. If you're a GM, you love running games, you really want to make it sing, this is pretty perfect for it. So let me add it in a chat here. Really, it's really good. Really, really, really good. But I've really enjoyed running it, and we have Squires, so I want to be using this Squires piece, I think. And if it gets loud at all, there's an air show, and there's just been nothing but jets all morning. So if you hear a little noise, it sounds like a rumble. I can only tune out so much, but breaking the sound barrier when they go over top here, I can't fix that problem. But look at this. You get like, I'm going to roll a random one here. I like this. I'm going to roll a random one. So we got a 6 and an 11. So table 6 and 11. This Squire must never be knighted. Oh. So I've like done something horrible. That's great. Spam text. Delete and report junk. I really like this. So anyway, Chris put this out in his post. He said it'll be over on Bastionland Press later on. So if you go to Bastionland Press here, this is his area for this. And he has a blog as well. Where's the blog at? Maybe I have to do this. This is his blog as well. Sounds like the Midwest. That's correct. Yeah, tornado warnings one day, air show the next. I mean, it's gorgeous out today. I have the windows open. It's 70 out. It's fucking perfect. Like, this is my ideal summer weather. Summer weather. So, if you're interested, there's this. There's do scars remove virtues permanently? No. Like, he's got a little fact that he went through. And he's been doing a 6-part stream diving into Mythic Bastionlands, which I really appreciate as a designer and as just a consumer of his product. He's giving you, like, the thoughts behind it, why he designed things, what he did. It's really good. It's long, but if there's a section you need to just go to it, like, because he did all the beginning of the book, which is only, like, 18 pages of rules. Then he did the 72 nights, then he did the 72 elements, and then he went through the myth apothecary at the back. This music's wild. So this is the other thing, if you're interested in some stuff, this is on bastionland.com. I recommend just following these two things. They're both really good if you're interested in his games. So that takes us into today. I'm going to mark the time down to set up the recording here, because I can just now clip in studio. They changed some stuff in YouTube. Let's see here. We're at, what, 27 minutes, 23 seconds. I can pull this piece out. So we're going to go into a little news. I think that's what we're doing today. So let me go over to the full page. Let me throw the ad on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's find a song in this playlist I want to use. I really don't have a song for the news yet. I think I'm going to use this. All right. I'm going to record it, though. It's easier. 3, 2, 1. I want this music to drop first. Hey, everybody. Welcome to EFP Live. News here on July 17th. I know it's a Thursday, but I've been busy. Summer schedule's wild for me, but the news doesn't stop. And we got a bunch of good ones today. We're going to be going over 2 Kickstarters, or I should say backer kits. One of them is a friend of mine in the industry. The other one is a designer I really admire. Actually, both of them. I actually love their work. Then we're going to be going into some stuff from Rascal News, a little bit of stuff going on for Gen Con. Of course, we got one-page jam today and more. So, instead of dicking around, let's get right the fuck into it. We're going to start with Mac Attack. Now, I know not everyone who watches this is going to be a miniatures fan, but look, the guy who's designing Mac Attack is the same one who did Mythic Bastionlands. If you know Mythic Bastionlands, this is Bastionland Press. These are the products he put out. Now Mythic Bastionlands is physically available For those who are in the live show, you already saw it, but I got it. It's here. Ribbon and all. This book is gorgeous. We're running this on Mondays for our live shows, and this is hands down one of my favorite games of all time. This has got to be top 5. Such a good game. And now he's been kind of gleaning little pieces, and we get Mac Attack. I'm going to turn off the music here in the background, and I'm going to let you hear this. This guy did all the VO for it and everything. It is a mech game with a bunch of factions. It is miniature agnostic, but look, listen, hear me out. His designs are so good. I really want to see how he designs a miniature game. If he designs tabletop so tight, is his other stuff going to be the same way? So we're going to pause this. We're going to put it up over on YouTube here.
Today, humanity fleet completes its voyage.
I'll turn it up for you.
Our grandchildren will celebrate this moment when we strode into our future as one.
Scouts report more factions splintering from First Landing. Guess they're trying their luck on other worlds.
I love that you did all the voices. It makes me happy.
Oh, how they begged for our mobile armor colossus. Cry for those that perish, but we shall thrive in the age of the Mac.
I feel like him and I think side by side, like in design aesthetics, like our childhood upbringing. You know what I'm saying? I dig this art too. It's got like a 2000 AD feel to it. The art's super fun. I'm gonna back it. Right? Back-to-back Kickstarters from this man. He doesn't sleep. He doesn't sleep. I'm gonna see if I can get him on for an interview, I think, on Corpse Talk. I don't know if we'll do the game version or the design version. We're changing up Corpse Talk a little bit. Just too many people have been not into the idea of having to play a game while they're being interviewed. They kind of freak out a little bit. So, but really cool, right? So he also has a how to play video. I'm gonna blow this up a touch. Let me see if I can. And I can't blow it up any. Damn. All right. I was trying to make it bigger. Okay. We're here. He's got a how to play in 15 minutes. This is pretty adorable as well. I say adorable. That's the wrong term. But listen to this. Look how fun. I mean, it's just fun. He's using old BattleTech minis. I'm not gonna watch the whole 15 minutes. I want you to hear this. Was that it? Hold on. Was that it? Him saying it? Hold on. No, it's not. It's the soldiers that made me laugh. Just the intros. We're not gonna watch the game. It is a really cool concept, and I definitely recommend if you're... Here it is.
Laser squads.
Laser squads. Laser squads. I thought this was super fun. So he did that. This is the slices of all the different mech that he talks about, the Mac attacks that you can make. This art's really retro. Like, really retro. I kind of love it. Like, legitimately, it's so cool looking. And he's got a bin of them, and he's already got a pressed book for himself. Like, he's almost done. So this is up. He said it'll be shipped by November 25th. I'm really interested in seeing how this turns out. If you want to back it, if you go into here to Mac Attack, the full version is 22. Plus one Mac Tech print copy, plus one digital copy, 22 pounds. What is that, like 40 something here? So I'm really excited for this. The community seems to be really into it as well and what's going on. I want to take it to my local game shop and run. I think that this could be one of those great crossover. Like, I hope he has campaign rules. He's such a great designer. If he doesn't give running a campaign with this, I'll be so disappointed. Because, like, think about it for a minute. Battletech and MechWarrior, the reason you played it is so that you could get campaigns. This guy makes TTRPGs and is a deity at it. Why not give us campaigns for this? So, I know if I have him on, that's one of the things I'm going to ask, but I'm excited for this. That takes us on to our next one. Look, about a year ago, I've been trying to get somebody on to interview him, which is Jason Bowman. And he was going to do his Hellfinder, and it got paused. And Hellfinder is a modern horror hack of Pathfinder 2E. And if you played Hopefinder, Hopefinder was his zombie apocalypse one. I played that a couple times. I ran it at EFP Con. I've ran it at a couple of conventions. It's just really fun. It's not PF2 how you think of it. It's a totally different beast. So he finally has put out Hellfinder. 33 days left. He's already funded. Check this out. We're going to watch this as well. So I'm excited because I feel like he really is one of the better designers we have seen in the last, I don't know, I say 15 years. He's in that like top 10, making Pathfinder 1 and converting everything. So this is his. I'm going to go over to YouTube. I'll pause this one. I haven't watched this yet.
This will be the final report of Agent.
And I love modern horror. I love it.
Field office. It'll all be over soon. One way or the other. I have to put an end to it. An end to them.
How am I not subscribed to him?
To me.
Hold on, we gotta fix that.
I only pray there's enough of me left to see it through.
Modern Horror, PF2, Jason Bowman. Already 3 pieces here. Pocket edition. Oh, he's doing a folder! He went retro.
And again.
Dude, Jason, have you been watching my stuff?
And again.
Have you been watching my ideas? I feel like you did. So everybody has been trying to find workarounds to the cost of printing. And the workaround a lot of us have been talking about in the background is doing 3-ring binders again and bringing them back. Because I love those old binders with everything in them. And the fact that he's doing this modern horror version that way is awesome. So welcome to Clean, the co-department, land, equipment, and asset network. That's the name of the group. We got a lot of old printed dossier. We got, yeah, going back to binders, baby. That is correct. Love it. I love it. I mean, I'm making recipe cards on Post-it cards for people. So, like, why not, right? So, I love this. I think this looks really cool. I like the art for it. What's different? So, I'm going to move this over so I can read this. What's different? Hellfinder starts by focusing on one central story created to introduce you to the world and the horrors. It contains the story broken down into 3 chapters, each of which contains new rules and the new part of the story. So he's teaching you the game through a starter quest, which I enjoy that. I think that's really smart. Hellfinder replaces the traditional class system with more freeform agent specialization training system. So in Hopefinder, you kind of unlocked abilities through memories and stuff. I hope he keeps that because it was such a genius style. So the start of this campaign, Hellfinder is deep in design, development, playtesting. Completion of the design phase expected end of September. While layout in the last in December, it goes according to plan. This will ship in spring. Oh, nice. I love this binder. Binder, folder, stickers. Now, is the book? How is this going to work? The core Hellfinder experience lives inside of three sealed dossiers containing all the rules of play and the central story on a loose 3-hole punch pages. Okay, so the whole thing's coming as punch. Ah, yeah, you can see them here. Punched pages there. I love that. I don't like that. I don't like backer kit's UI. You are taking up the left and right hand side, and I don't have a way to make one of them go away. so that I can blow this up to make it bigger. It's such a bad design. I have to scroll in to do it. I have to put it at, what is it at? 150%. Anyway. I like that. 3 holes. Good. Some dice. Hellbinder, $20 add-on. I think I'm going to have to do this. This is so cool. So what's the $600 one? Game session with Jason Bowman. I mean, buddy, I love you, but I would just call you and ask you to play a game. But I know there's some people who are going to do this for you, which would be great. Game session with Jason Bowman. Save $15, save $50. What's the field operator give us? The cultist pin. Oh, you get a whole bunch with the 110. Well, this is probably the one I'll do because I want the 3-ring binder. I want the record sheet. I want the sticker. I'm a sticker whore. I want stickers. I like the agent folder stuff. This is pretty cool. And then he has add-ons as well. Free if you put down a deposit. Free if you put down a deposit. Free for Super Siren subscribers. Super Siren subscribers? What's Super Siren? I'll have to ask him what that is. I don't know. And it's going to be OGLN Orc, so if people want to build adventures out of this, you can. That's fucking cool. Someone's getting licensing right, Daggerheart. Daggerheart. Come on, guys. You got to fix your shit. This looks really awesome. I loved Hope Finder. It was such a surprise. Who do we have working on this? Jason Bowman, Riccardo Diorano. Oh, yes, I do know who that is. He's a great artist. Italian, right? Yeah, Italy. K. Tessa. Yep, I know who that is. I played games with them before. Dan Thorpe. I mean, of course we know Dan. Micah Hawkins, Fulfillment Goblin. That's awesome. Sirenscape. Oh, I bet you if you are a high background, Sirenscape, you get it. That's really cool. King of the Castle, established in Australia. I'm assuming this is going to help them ship stuff. Shipping. Hellfinder shipping estimates. I wonder if he'd let me run this for in October. This would be a really good 4-part horror game. I wonder if he'd let me do this then. I would love to do that. Man, I would have to do 2 live shows to do it, but I think I'd only do it like 4 episodes. This could be a lot of fun. But anyway, Hellfinder is out now. You can back it. Let me scroll this. Let's check out their backer level here. So you got all your different versions for what you want. The field operator is the most popular, 98 backed. This gets you everything besides playing a game with Jason, but does give you a discount if you want to buy in later. Pretty cool. So it gives you a little bit of everything for the game. So that's Hellfinder. So we got 2 people, 2 designers I love, one a friend of mine. I'm excited to see what happens with these. Mac Attack sounds so cool to me. The fact that one of my favorite designers is making a mech game, and I'm a kaiju fan, seems amazing to me. Now, let's go over to Rascal News and look over some of the stuff that's there. And some of it's not so great right now, and it needs to be talked about because it's just dirty. So Rascal's been kind of my main source for stuff lately, between this and EN, looking over things. I have some other places that I hunt and peck as well. I have my AI, Nero, help me find things that are out there. It can dig through Reddit faster than I can and try to find extra news and extra pieces, so I put it on specified tasks. But the thing that keeps coming up no matter what is about Diamond Publishing and what is going on. Now, we're going to talk about this one here, which is the Green Ronin one. Let me find here. Green Ronin is one of my... Some say Green Ronin. I say Green Ronin. I've said Ronin since I was a kid. I'm fucking sticking with it. So, they're asking for help. And if you don't know what happened with Diamond Publishing, it's pretty ugly. So, Diamond Comic Distributors is a distributor for not just comics, but a bunch of other companies as well. And I know Roll for Combat did a big breakdown on it. That gentleman prints through there and ships through... Sorry, not prints. Ships through there as well. And the problem is they're filing a Chapter 11. They're filing bankruptcy. Not Green. These motherfuckers. And in doing so, they're saying that as a consignment group, all the product they have the right to turn and sell to help pay off their debt. But that means that they can turn around and sell product at any price they want. Now think about that for a minute. if you are a publisher and you have a consignment group holding your products so that they can send them and sell them, the last thing you want to do is be selling on your own website, on Amazon, on drive-through. Well, I shouldn't say drive-through. Anywhere that holds your stock. And have these guys undercut you and put them out cheap as possible to liquidate stock. Now, you would think that they have the right to get their stock back. But apparently in the paperwork that came out, there's like one line or two lines within it. And I wish Nick was here. He may have read about it. But there's just a couple lines that say, oh, by the way, you didn't... Hey, look who's here. You call for him and he shall arrive. Hey, Nick. But you can't... You're trying to keep everything because they missed the one line saying, and I guess the way it works is for every item they hold of yours, you have to fill out a sheet saying that, basically giving you the rights to it, not them. It's my product. It's mine. It's my product. So now they're turning and selling this out from under them. And this is bad. So some people have found out ways they can get some of their stuff back. Others have not. Green Ronin is asking for some help right now. There's no one that I trust involved in this mess, so I don't have any confidence of a good resolution. This is bad. So Diamond's messy and public death throes crashing the tabletop industry when several publishers, including Paizo, Roll for Combat, Lion Wing, and of course, Green Ronin, learned that the banks and creditors now have control a sliver of the original distributor, would not be returning their books held on consignment, citing a loophole in the U.S. Uniform Commercial Code. The assemblage seemingly wants to liquidate the stock to help pay tens of millions in debt that J.P. Morgan Chase and other massive financial institutions. According to the Green Ronin founder and president, Chris Promise. Chris, amazing guy. I'm so sorry this happened to you, buddy. If you are watching this, I will remember sitting next to you when Dragon Age and you had the Faces of Thetis coming out at Gamma, working for Norse Foundry. Super nice guy. Got me a copy of Thetis, even though there's none left. Just a nice guy and another really well-known designer in the industry. So this includes $300,000 in retail value, or substantial $120 in revenue. That's a lot of money to lose over this. Now, I know they have recently launched a GoFundMe to try to get some of this together. They're on EN World. They're very active there, trying to find out what they can do to get this together to save money. It's raised $17K at the time with 200, it looks like 200 donations. I'll let that load meanwhile. But this isn't going to save them from losing their stuff. It's really ugly. Audience member here, Nick, yeah, I just got out of a meeting. It's basically you assign over your rights as part of consignment. Yeah, they basically own it, sell it, and then pay you back. And there is an addendum, I think is what it was, where you can sign for each individual thing. But imagine a comic book company. Pallets and pallets of different comic books for every single item having to fill out one of these sheets. Now, granted, there are ways you could automate that now. It's too late, though, at this point. But moving forward, I hope the industry learns what to do with cosign. But so they're doing a GoFundMe. They're trying their best to find a way out of this. I just feel bad, though, man. I really feel bad. No group should have this happen to them because a company couldn't keep their shit together. Do you know what I mean? Also, GoFundMe's site does not run very smooth. It's choking. Maybe it's so busy with people trying to help. But there's a GoFundMe. I'll put it in chat. I'm also going to put it in the thing down below. I don't usually do anything for GoFundMes, but seeing an established company that has gotten amazing IPs, put out the Age system, which is one of my favorite systems. Age is up there with like Cortex and Pathfinder 2 and Bastionlands and I would honestly Forge in the Dark. Like that plethora are the games I've run the most. And some of my best games have been with the Age system just because it's so clean. So, it's weird. It's really weird on how this is going. And I feel bad for everyone. I haven't asked my friends at Paizo what they're doing about it, but I know there's a big suit going on that a lot of people are getting in together on that are in the companies. Paizo's a big dog. I mean, they're two. You know, they were 1 for a long time. And I'm sure they're going to swing because they went to bat over the OGL force and made the orc license. Like, they have good hearts on everything that they do. And I have a lot of friends that work in that specific company that I can see them fighting to get this fixed. So if you're interested in knowing more, I'll put links down below for the GoFundMe. I also put links for... I'll put links for the EN World article as well. It's in chat as well if you were live right now, so you can read up on what's going on. But I wish them the best. I never want this to happen to anyone. This is just a shitty situation. It's just not good. It's not good. So let's talk about something a little less negative, a little less worse. But first off, fuck you, Diamond. If I didn't say that out loud, fuck you for doing this. Fuck you for not just taking it in the mouth. And fuck you for not warning all these people that they needed to, hey, maybe 30 days, get this paperwork in so we can save your ass. You found out before them. It's your responsibility as a consignment group to give them warning. Especially if this is one of those bankruptcies where your ass is still around afterwards. Right? So, do the right thing, Diamond. Stop being a brat. Anyway. Let's talk about Young Gods. This is much more happy. Young Gods, the new TTRPG. I have a hair that keeps hitting in my mouth. People are wondering why I'm doing this when you're watching this later. That's why. Young Gods is a TTRPG about being more than mortal. Now, warning, this is an adult game. And I'm an adult channel. Because the cover alone is pretty spicy. Kill your gods, awaken to your power, destroy the system, remake the world, and this time, finish the job. It's a very adult game. A game of lost divinity and hope. I guess she's dying? I don't know, man. But this game is meant for adults only. Reader discretion is advised. Warning, I'm a rated R area. And YouTube, if you're watching this, I don't mark this as ever being watchable by children. So you were an old god, once golden. The words scream at you and echo through your body like a hunger for something more. A gnawing, a gnashing, a fucking wound, which needs to be opened. A festering urge that slithers into every last intersecting angle of your life. You do not belong. You do not feel right. There's something more. It resists at the edge of your fingertips. This looks wild. I have no idea what this is. But I think no matter what, I'm going to review it. Because if somebody can make a good rated R, like in your face, I don't know if this is going to be violent. I don't quite understand what it is, and I won't until I read it. But the art obviously is an attention grabber on purpose, right? But also, I don't know if she's wearing a headpiece or she has deer ears. I'm not sure. So it's a new narrative-based TTRPG inspired heavily from American gods, supernatural, and the fact that something is not right with our world. It's a game about monsters and how they have names and addresses, gods and how they have fallen, humans and how they beg to be much more, revolutions and how they're inevitable, the past and how does one's rule over us wish to erase it from us. So, pretty cool concept. But all this art is just sexualized, so I don't know how good. Now look, I'm fine with sexualized art. I'm not a person. I like Stellar Blade. It's made for me. It's fun. But the mechanics are good. It's not just the look. If the mechanics for this game are good, it might be worthwhile. But I don't know anything about it. I know nothing about this. Young Gods. The art's cool. The layouts I like the neon, but it's a little basic. This is one of those ones that might be really good in print if they get that neon to look right. But what you can do, it's a D12-based system. Oh, you call into me. Called the Folklore system, inspired by storytelling games over the past 30 years. Deep and easy miracle system. Rules for growing in power and building your true form through anointments and godly features, talents. This kind of reminds me of Divinity, my game that I was doing. This is not going to be as wacky as Divinity. Divinity is gonzo. But there's a 158-page pre-release on itch. Following crowdfunding campaign ETA on December 25th. Oh. Huh. Well, I'm interested in this. I'm going to see what the cost is for the buy now. $20 CAD. So it's $20 for this game. Are you going to get a discount if you buy here on the pre-release before they go to Kickstarter? You know what I'm saying? So here's the crowdfunder on BackerKit. I will end up following this. I'll put this in the chat for anyone else who's interested in following up on this. I'm interested in this. It's a very different game. You know, new games come along constantly, but you never know if they're going to be any good. But sometimes you can get a one-page game that is good. So let's talk a little bit about the one-page RPG Jam, July 14th through August 17th. So at least it goes through Gen Con. If you're not familiar with this, the Game Jam happens pretty often. It's been every year for a while. They might even say. But ever-popular one-page Game Jam returns for the summer. The EN-nominated Game Jam is about making new one-page tabletop RPGs on single sheets of paper, easy to pick up and learn. I think that the one with the bears that wear hats came from this, if I'm not mistaken. You get 5 weeks to make a one-game jam. So this is pretty interesting. Let me pause our music. Let's take a look.
Get your paper and pencils ready because this.
Now let's go over here.
Because this summer, the one-page RPG Jam is back. Over 5 weeks in July and August, participants come together to create hundreds of new, tiny tabletop role-playing games that each fit on a single sheet of paper. For 2025, the Jam will begin July 14th and run up to August 17th. The exact start and end times are available in your local time zone over on the itch.io page, which contains all the rules, frequently asked questions, and designer resources. Registration for the Jam is already live, so head over there to join in. The Jam is unranked and welcomes multiple submissions from individuals and teams alike. This year, we're opening up the Jam to more paper sizes.
His audio is really odd. Am I wrong?
But you can go smaller, down to large index card size if you want to.
Really hard to hear him.
You're also encouraged to experiment with what you can do with a single sheet. Fold the page in half, into a pamphlet, or any way you choose that will benefit your game. Additionally, the back page isn't just for GM tools anymore. Feel free to use the back for a map.
So front for thing, back for map and prompts. Okay.
Previous years, the Jam will have an optional theme, but you'll have to wait until the start of the Jam to find out what it is this year.
I feel like the mic is in his really close to his mouth, or maybe in it.
The Discord server, which is packed with people discussing ideas and sharing resources. For more information or to check out previous year's entries, visit onepagerpgjam.com.
All right.
I'll see you all on the 14th.
So this is our one-page RPG Jam. It's been around for a while. Some really cool stuff has come out of this. I'm excited to see what we get this year. But they do some cool stuff with it. It's the 6th year the game designers have done over 2,000 new role-playing games across a breadth of genres and styles. Many of these projects have gone beyond their single-page origin to greater products, such as The 11 Beasts by ENnie-nominated, I think it's Exunt Press. A Perfect Rock by Deep Dark Games, which raised over $70,000 on Kickstarter. So people have blown these up into bigger games. But I wanted to at least people be aware that the Game Jam is going on right now. You can join the Game Jam as well if you want. I will put that in the lovely in here for our news, just in case some other people are interested in it. I like the Game Jam. I think it's great. I love all the Game Jams that we do on itch. I love the one that we did for Shadow Dark. I think that was super fun. I hope we do more of them. I kind of been thinking about doing one for Breachers once I have enough out. Or just for Shadow Dark. Maybe I'll just do it for Shadow Dark. I like to do one because I loved going over everybody's stuff. That's something I'm kind of thinking about doing in the fall. So that's our lovely news for that. I don't think anything else for us today. But if anyone else is watching this after the live show, and there's some news that I missed that you want me to go over, put it down in the comments below. There is another section I'm going to do here in a little bit. I'll record that and put that out later, but that's going to be about the Daggerheart license and what's going on. But for as of news for July 17th, that's what you get. Stay rotten, everybody. If you're here for the live show, stick around. We're going to talk some more. Dude, this diamond thing sucks. It's really, really bad. There's a lot of people who are getting fucking plowed over this. At the same time, the tariffs are going on. And that's just overall bad. You know what I mean? Like bad, bad, bad. I'm gonna put some of this information over into my EFP notes so I can put them up later. EFP Live? February, January, November. I'll have to do a new one, I guess. So I keep notes for all my live shows so that I can easily go through. EFP. Do I have an EFP live show one? I thought I did. I don't have a note piece for it. Oh, I'm a fucking dumbass. Oh, and here, I'm just gonna copy this. We're gonna do today's date. What do you guys think about? I mean, the idea of like them keeping the co-assignment seems super shitty to me. Like really shitty. Like Nick, you said you were looking over it. Is this something that's one of those things where, yes, it makes sense, but it should be wrong? Because I feel like it's a should be wrong kind of thing. You know what I mean? Am I wrong? Like, it just seems fucked up that they can keep it all because some fine print. And I know that's how this shit goes, but... Whoops. I'm just putting all the news articles over here while we're chatting. 20 bucks for this Young Gods, too. That seems really pricey. Right. They should have been notified. That's what I was saying. They should have been notified, and they should have said, get your paperwork in order. Anyone who's holding your stuff and is basically a business partner with you, I feel like that shit should be sent out. Am I wrong? Like, why? And people are pissed. Rightfully so. That anything bothers mostly because they weren't notified by bankruptcy. It makes sense, but feels very incorrect. Basically, I think everyone who offers their products for sale should be considered a creditor, but they weren't. Yeah, I would have thought that they were considered creditors, to be honest with you. Like, that seems like the normal thing to me to do. Apparently, it's fucking not, though. It's just dirty, man. Fucking dirty. So, what do you guys think about this Young Gods? I'm interested in it. I mean, I love anything that's a new system, and it's a D12, so it's like you kind of know. But, like, I don't know, man. I feel as if 20 bucks up front for this system, plus when the backer kit happens, am I going to get a discount? If I already bought your shit, am I going to get a discount on your shit when it comes out? You know what I mean? As if I'm not, that's bullshit. Co-signing is a weird form. Yeah, I've worked with co-signment before. I worked for Walden Books, and we got our some of our magazines and our comics on a couple books through co-signment groups, and then we've had problems in the past dealing with co-signment groups not shipping on time. And which is weird because they own the product. There's no reason for them not to ship. Some bullshit. It really is. Do we buy this? Do we buy this and see if it's any good? to see if they mention if you buy it, if you're getting a discount later. Okay, let's blow this bitch up. Let's take a look at this here. Let's see here. Young Gods. Quick summary of folklore system. This is what I wanted to see. Collect the number of D12s equal to characteristic plus skill or characteristic plus characteristic. So Vampire the Masquerade's characteristic plus characteristic, and the idea of run and gun for characteristic plus skill with the dice pool. So if you have 7 dice. Step 2, roll total dots as D12s, looking for 10s and 11s. Equal 1 hit, 12s is 2. So okay, this is a hit system. So this is not like, this is closer to Vampire. Their hits are lower. So 10 and 11's a hit, 12's not. So it's like Blades in the Dark actually meets Vampire. If you get at least 1 hit success, times 1. If you get 5 hits, perfect success. If you get no hits, failure. Okay. Unfortunately, after walking a dog, I'm melting and giving up. It's a problem. I need to kick my ass. Gym time, my friend. Gym time. Start light, though. I don't listen to everything Joe Rogan says, but I do agree with this as someone who works out a lot and used to work out a lot. Don't work out to where you're sore. Your body isn't ready for it. Like, everyone tries to push too hard when they go back. You gotta think about all the years you weren't doing shit. It's going to take you at least some of that time to get back to being comfortable to be in a movement. I mean, I know just being off in the winters and going back in the summer for serving, I have a standing desk just so I'm better at standing. My back doesn't hurt and I'm not injured all the fucking time. Like, I tore something in this shoulder. That took 6 months to heal. But yeah, just baby steps, man. Baby steps. You don't want to be sore because it demotivates you. Demotivates your ass. I told my buddy who started the trip of wanting to be back in shape again. He got in a car accident and he really couldn't work out too much. When he finally could, he's like, dude, I just can't do it anymore. I was like, just do a couple push-ups and sit-ups and some dips or squats and just do that. Do a couple and make you feel comfortable. And every day, if more is easier, do a couple more, but never push more than 1. And, you know, contact me in 60. And he did like 45 days. And he's like, dude, I feel pretty good. I'm like, all right, well, now we'll do it with bar weight. But it's just slow. Like, that first 3 months is slow. But it doesn't demotivate you when it's something easy. I know that the mini wargaming guy, Dave, he started a project called Just Move. Let me see if I can find this, actually. Hold on here. Found it. Here, hold on. This is off topic, but hey, sometimes topics comes from you guys. Check this out. I'm not going to watch the whole thing.
Channel. It's the Mini Wargamer Dave specific channel so that I can make targeted content for those who are interested in moving. With a whole bunch of
so this guy
plans and goals and
turned into fucking corn berserker, man.
Calories and all of that stuff. If that feels like it's way too overwhelming, which understandably so, it can be. It was for me.
Yeah.
What worked for me was unlocking the belief that I could just move. I might only have 5% in me today, maybe only 20% tomorrow, but that all adds up. The body itself remembers the sets and the reps and all.
Yeah, so he's just doing like a Just Move. He's got a bunch of people doing it now. He's a minigame. And he, look at this dude. He made this dope ass fucking miniature with a hammer that you paint too, because it's for miniature gamers. Because painters and shit like that sit at their table even more than RPGers do. So he's just been doing lunges and leans and shit like this. I do this stuff all the time. So super cool. Super cool. But anyway, my point was just move. He's right. It makes a big difference. I'm not here to pimp working out to people, but it made a big difference for him. And I know for my friend, that concept made a big difference too. Walking the dog helps though, I'll tell you that. I walk my dog all the time. Don't I, Fiona, wherever you went? She ran back to the carpet. It's too hot. So, anyway, I'm interested in this. I just $20 for this seems weird. It is good for the mental health. Oh my god, dude. Squats are best for legs and hips and knees. Take them easy. Dip, do a couple of them, but don't do too many. Makes a big difference. Warhammer City game, or Hammer City Games. Yeah, it's a pre-release, full release prepares for crowdfunding campaign. Purchasers that get the game now are able to watch the game evolve and update and guaranteed a copy of the full digital release file. Okay, good. So I buy this, I'm at least getting the digital release. That's super fucking cool. All right, I'm in. I'll do this. Hold on. We're going to use Streamloot, some Streamloot money to pick it up. We'll take a look. Download. Download. Yeah, unconditional love is definitely true. Serving hands for dogs. This little monster. I mean, you know. I hang out with this little bastard all the time. She's not little, though. She's large. She's a large bastard. All right, so I got it. Well, we'll look at this. I was going to talk Daggerheart, but I got some problems with it. Nick and I have talked about it. I've done a lot of research. And I agree with you, Nick. I think they really need to divide. They need to divide how their license works. Let's talk about it real fast. You want to talk about Daggerheart license really fast? Is that what we wanted to do? We can. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me pull it up. I want to find my license comparison that I did here. Staffy mix. We had a whippet growing up. That dog was so fucking smart. All right, so hold on here. So I'll pull up my GPT breakdown for the Daggerheart license. So we're gonna record this then, I think. Let me go to. I did a pretty big breakdown of this in comparison to the OGL 1.1. And then I talked to Nick about it off air and kind of what's going on. The problem with this license, in my eyes and the rest of the design community, is a couple things. One, at any point in time, they can basically make the same thing you're making, and you kind of don't have anything you can do about it. It's definitely not a license aimed towards the fucking public. And it should be, but it's not. Like, Daggerheart is going to be popular if they have a community designing it. They literally are following the footsteps of Wizards of the Coast right now. In my eyes. In my eyes. An actual license is a fuck show. Well, here, let me see if I can... Let me find the license here. Is it my downloads? And then, so as far as I know so far, there has not been an update to it. I don't know if it's this. Is it this one? Yeah. Dare to press. What line, Nick, would you say was the most offensive and egregious line? What do you think it would be? I'm going to highlight them before we dive in too far. Do you have specifics before I record? I have a few. Because going over the GPT breakdown, you can see I basically put this in, comparisons, where they're right, like that kind of thing. But I want to know, like, where... It can be revoked at any time. It locks your branding. It waives your legal rights. It updates without consent. This was my big problem, was this updates without consent. So basically it updates and you're locked into the update. That's bullshit. Limits future edits. So basically, if I put out my version, say it's 1.5, and they put out a new license that takes away something I had in my version of 1.5, if I want to update even grammar or something to 1.6, granted, they would have to know I did it and hunt down the dates and all, but if they decided to chase after everyone, they would have to chase after everybody if they want to make a lawsuit. I would change mine. I now have to follow the new rules, and that may cut stuff out of my thing. And I get the idea of goodwill for this. I'm recording this. I can already feel the spice level rising. I can feel it. I'm going to start recording this. We're recording this. I don't have a license piece to put up here. I will make a new thumbnail to put in the beginning of this for my salt. Because it's high. I'm going to change the White Bat music to something more appropriate. Let's see here. What you got for me, White Bat, since you did not pull the ability to use audio like all these other fucking people have? Is this one any good? Yeah, we'll use this one. No, I want something banging. I want something bigger than that. Here we go. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. I know that the community is on fire about Daggerheart right now. And I am too. I actually really like the game a lot. I think it's a great amalgamation of all the best things of every system that has been released. All the mechanics, the rules, all the things that you would want in a game they have nailed. And we're not here to talk about the design of the game. We're here to talk about me and other creators designing for this game. Look, for fuck's sake, guys. Why did you make your license like this? This is such a scary license after we just went through the OGL a few years ago. And I feel like you didn't learn from this lesson. Did you? It's like your girl cheated on you the third time and you fucking went back to the same, you're doing the same thing to us. And I won't go back to it. I want to design for the system really bad. I love the community that's around it. I like how creative they are. People are putting out something new every day. It is the most positive Reddit forums I have seen since, fuck, I don't know, My Little Ponies? I don't know. Something. They're just constantly creating. They're not fighting. They're not arguing. They're not cutting each other down. They're helping each other make stuff. You have a hyper-creative community that... There's a woman who just made a new character sheet that's a pocket character sheet that folds up and it's this big. She did it for every one of your classes. It's amazing. But then you read this license. This license, I am not a lawyer, but I have went through the OGL debacle. I've been with companies that have had shit pulled, the fear that came out of it, and watched the community just and shatter. And this new, by the way, we can't call them their abbreviation, apparently. That's also in the license. We'll have to find that. But Darrington Press doesn't want us to do a lot of things. And this is not built towards the creator. Now, I put it through ChatGPT. I've talked to 2 different people who are lawyers. And you can watch, like, Dragons in Discourse. They've talked about it a lot as well. This is not a safe license to build under. It's It's hot fucking garbage. Now, I'm saying this because they have a chance to change it before everybody starts putting things out under it, and someone gets caught in this. And we fast forward to the idea of being stuck in civil war with a company that we want to develop things under. I don't understand what they think this is going to do for the industry. So let's look over it. All right. I have Nick in chat as well. Nick has read over this. He has way more law knowledge than I do. And then the other lawyer I talked to is an IP lawyer in the West Coast. And I won't do names or anything. And there's the other lawyer out there also, I can't remember his name. He does all the stuff for Pathfinder. He's also went over this, which is a really good video to watch. And people are throwing shade, but there's not enough people talking about why this is bad. First off, let's just talk about the fact this is 8 fucking pages. Guys, why is this 8 pages for me to make tabletop RPGs when I have watched Arcane Library for Shadow Dark give me a 1-pager or 2? I've seen Free League do the same thing for Year Zero Engine and for Dragonbane. Why in the hell are you giving me 8 pages here? Well, it's very simple. And Nick said it best. There needs to be 2 different licenses. This license is trying to encompass everything from digital production stuff to tabletop, like making video games and everything else. Those should be separate. I worked in video games for quite some time, and I was around during the Torque era. Now, look, you're going to get educated a little bit here today. If you don't like it, fucking click the X. Torque was the engine everybody was using in indie development to make indie games. Look, I need full screen for this. This is salt. That engine was going to change the industry, but they wanted to charge indie publishers way too much fucking money. Like a lot. And indie publishers are making games on sweat equity, not on dollar bills, y'all. And when this was made, there was a big fight about it. There's a group of us that went in to talk, and I was with a company at the time, a few other people with high-end companies that wanted to do this, saying, look, you need to do something else. And the proposition with myself and one other person was, you need to make this free until X amount has been sold or published, or if they published titles in the past that have been successful. And if they have not, you should be giving this to them for free. It should be in every school. Long game, you should be making people make stuff on Torque instead of trying to charge them. And sure enough, that's what ended up happening. And that's how we got indie games and all the Xbox stuff in the old generations of Xbox. It was because of that change. Now that engine is Unity. There isn't a game you haven't touched recently that hasn't used Unity. From iPhone games to big indie titles that crush are using this engine because everyone's been learning on it. And so much so other companies have done the same. When I was looking at using Hero Blade for an MMO, they wanted us to pay $1 million to use their engine, but they've never made anything for us to do it. Why would I pay you $1 million fucking dollars? Why would I entrust you with my money on an engine that might fail? So instead, we convinced them to give it to us so we can use it until shipping. That engine ended up being used for Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO. But it changed the way things work. It allowed new people to come out and make instead of being locked behind paywalls. Now let's take this to the tabletop land. Same thing. Obviously, video games on a much larger scale. In tabletop land, when 4th edition came out and they had a license, I wanted to make my video game for Sunder Studios using the 4th edition license because they said, when it came out, this is made with MMOs at heart. Well, I wanted to do something like Penny Arcade and put out episodic content. Those guys wanted me to pay so much money to use the 4th edition license. And I was like, I don't want the D&D part. I just want to use the mechanics. And I learned after a while, there's nothing they can do. If I use mechanics, they can get fucked. You can't stop me. Mechanics aren't licensable. They're just not. As long as I don't use any of their stuff verbatim and make all my own powers and just use the system, it would have been fine. But it was disheartening to see that a company didn't want someone to succeed. And I was like, well, what if we use it and put it out, and after we hit a certain amount, then we can talk purchasing the license from you? They wanted like $100,000 for a tabletop license. Absolutely insane. Monty Cook Games. This has changed up front. They've changed their license to make it way more content user-friendly. But they used to take a large cut of your stuff when you published on Drive-Thru RPG, and it was the only place that you could publish. And that cut was big. By the time that Drive to RPG and Monty Cook took their money, you weren't making much. They've changed it since then. They went back and saw what the community wanted, and they listened. Hey, Darrington Press, why don't you do the same? Everyone is crying for a better license that understand what the license is or have been through the numerous things that I just stated. Why aren't you just fixing the fucking license? Money's not a problem for you. Is it holders? Is it somebody above you guys that's financially, is it Legendary Games? Is there movies? Is there somebody who's got a holding over you? Because you guys want us to read this and be okay with it based on the fact that there's good intentions from a company. Good intentions only last as long as those fucking people are there. If those people don't stay in the company, those good intentions don't matter at all. How can you think that this is a good license for a creator? Now, I have two theories, and I really hope the first one isn't right. Well, number one, you don't want people to make shit. You put it out there because the community wants it, and they think it's a good idea to have it out there, but you don't actually want people to make anything. It's just there so that people want to, they can, but under your reign. If that's the case, fuck you. And yeah, as Nick said, DP wants to DP you. They want it from both sides. They want to take everything. And you don't like that, you should have thought about that when you made your name. And I wouldn't be saying these things if you weren't doing that to us. So first part of this license, and I'm going to highlight it here. I'm going to take us over to the license area. It literally is talking about how we're not allowed to call them DP. We're not allowed to do it. Darrington Press, LLC, DRP in your own creations. No, it's not. There's no R anywhere. It's not Darrington Rare Press. And that's just me being petty. But as we go through these things, they're offering your license rights, and there's been some misunderstandings about like what you have to do. There is a lot in here. And they've whitelisted certain materials. The license, subject to terms and conditions to the license, DRP grants you worldwide royalty-free, non-transferable, non-exclusive license to exercise the following license right: A, reproduce and share public game content in a whole or in part, and B, produce, reproduce, share, and sell adaptive content using the public game content solely in permitted formats and further limited playtest materials. Now, I get them not wanting you to use all their frameworks. Those are theirs. Maybe they're going to publish books in the future, and I know they're future-proofing their company. But we get into some really, really shitty stuff here. And I'm going to go over to my Chat GPT version because I put it in here along with the OGL 1.1, along with the Darrington Press license for their games, and just started going through and exercising this to get myself down to like something that makes sense and what I don't like. There is some critical wording in here, and I think this is the important stuff that was bothering me. And Nick, who is in chat, if you can find what was bothering you, I'd love to hear that as well. So any modified version of existing adaptive content or derivative work thereof will be subject to amended licenses. This includes revisions, expansions, errata, reprints with layout changes, updated print runs or bundled content, translations, reformatting versions, e.g. VTT card expansions and audio recordings. This is something we have to talk about. And even published and collected editions could be seen as new adaptive content. Now, look here. If I want to do an update of my license or of my game, if I'm on version 1.1 and want to put out 1.6, and you put a new license out in between, I should have to adhere to the license I created under. I should not have to adhere to the new license you're putting out because I did not create under that license. It should not be a retroactive thing, because if you suddenly decide to pull some of the things that I'm using, you're asking me to destroy the work that I've already put out for my consumers. And if that is not your intent, that is sure as fuck how it reads. What the fuck? Why Why? Why would you do this? Did you not learn from OGL? This is literally the same kind of bullshit OGL was doing. It's... So if I release something and they change the license, and I revise my work, I'm forced to accept these new terms. What? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Why is that a thing? It's dumb. It's also bad for creators. Look, I can't patch or update my work safely without having to reread their license every time. They, in their things, is they're not required to tell me about their license changes. I just have to go look. I get it, but if let's say they make an email list, which, hey, you want to collect fucking emails anyway of everyone who's using your fucking license. Make it so I have to put my email in to download the license. If you update it, you should send an email to me. It's not hard. It's a mail list. You should want to do that anyway. Last thing you want is a lawsuit. It's not good for either person, especially if they lose. That's really bad. But they're not doing it. That discourages long-term projects. I can't plan a multi-part release or revised edition because of this. If I wanted to do an actual play or an AP along the lines of, let's say, I don't know, like what Pathfinder does with their APs, I can't do that safely. Because technically speaking, I have to fall under all these new viabilities. It's bullshit. And then it hangs over my head. The entire time I'm creating stuff, I have to wonder, is this commercially viable? Did I fuck something up? You're not giving a creator... First off, creators are creators. Most of them don't have lawyers on the small end. They don't have a lawyer. If they don't have a lawyer, why the shit are you fucking with me? Like, just give them something that makes sense. I think this could easily be fixed. And if there's lawyers out there, comment down below. But they could say any content published under previous license versions can be updated or modified without requiring acceptance of future license. But they didn't. It's not dangerous. It's strategic control of my property. And honestly, of the purchaser. The person buying my stuff is now locked into my new release cycle because they may addendum the language and fuck me over. It's very fucked up. It's a very wolf in sheep's cloak license. It looks creator friendly on the surface, but, you know, hey, make cool stuff in our world, in our system, in our mechanics. Under the hood, it's just laced with corporate control and, like, just the vocabulary and the IP landmines and the legal handcuffs in here. It's just not good. They could change rules midway through my development and force me to comply and update my work. And then we're not even talking about the fact that you lose the right to defend your own ideas. You're giving DP a blanket release to make stuff substantially similar to mine. Now, look, I know people think in parallels as creators. Like, right now, Chris McDowell is making Mac Attack, and I've been making Warpaint. Like, people love mecha. Boom! It's just part of the thing we're doing. Battletech's making Battletech. I don't look at Mac Attack and go, oh, you're copying them. I get people thinking parallels. Like, right now, their live stream is basically Dark Souls. But they're saying that if they make something like me, unless it's identical, they don't owe me shit. Well, I'm not worried about you making things like mine. I just don't want you to copy content I've made because we've seen this in video games. I mean, right now, Bungie's under fire for stealing people's art and putting it in a game and not paying them for it. That's the things we worry about. And I know, but it's Critical Role. We're supposed to trust them. Like, look, sure, maybe I trust, like, Matt and the crew. Maybe I trust some of them, but as soon as someone leaves and comes back, they just changed designers. Ivan's gone, for example, and they've brought in 2 people from Wizards of the Coast. There's gonna be, and I'm not saying they're bad. We've talked about Chris and Jeremy. I like them. But I'm saying new people are gonna come and go. And you never know when this is gonna backfire. It's not made for the creator. It isn't. It isn't. It's just so bad. And it's so easy for them to fix. And there's more things in here that are bad. When you look at it compared to the SRD and like the OGL, there's a lot of really weird things. really weird things in here. Let's go over and I'll pull it up just so it's on screen. So this is some accurate comparisons where they were right with ChatGPT. Again, if you compared the license and you have anything to say, that's awesome. I see in chat right now you said that these are things that bother me. We're aligned on this. But this is weird. So OGL 1 grants you a perpetual non-revocable license. Section 4 says you may use an authorized version of this license, copy, and modify and distribute. This made the OGL stable for decades and allow creators to build the whole business around it. That was until they tried to snatch it away. This is irrevocable at will. DRP can update the license at any time, section 11-1 or 11.1. And if you update your work, you're forced under new terms. That's what we've been talking about. That's not good. Release of claims. Forced updates. We all talked about this. Trademark and branding restrictions. There's a lot of, like, you can't use, Wizards of the Coast had a bunch of identity and trademark stuff you couldn't use. We all know you can't use Beholder. You can't use Illithid. This is like Star Wars with the word droid. You know, they're trying to trademark things in that they can go after you in IP land. But they prohibit the use of Daggerheart or Candle Obscura in titles covers, section 2.5, even with compatible language. Now, I'm not positive on this because if we go look at my current one I'm working on, you can see I have Daggerheart compatible, but I don't think it's allowed to be on the cover. I think it has to be on the inside or on the back. Really? So you don't want me to sell my product that forces them to go buy your main book? If that's true, that's fucked up. I need to know if this can be on the front. And if it can't, kind of shitty, man. I have a little bit of a table that is put together in between. You can see the OGL leak 1.1 because I did 1.0, 1.1, and then their license. And you can see kind of the breakdown of things that are different in here. Now, I was talking about how am I going to do this? Like, what's my question? What's my follow-up? How am I going to do Marks of Man? Because Daggerheart's perfect for it. So, I'm afraid, what in the future they decide they want to take a cut of profits? I didn't see an exception, Nick. If you know where that exception is, I am more than happy to hear it. I'll take a look in a sec. I think it's ridiculous that, what if they change midway through and they want to cut profits now for something that's out? DPR grants you worldwide royalty-free license, section 2.1. You can sell products and everything, but you have to follow their attribution and branding, and then they can change the section at any time. You're forgetting this is such a good faith license. It's not in perpetuity. It is like today. But if we get in a fight and I don't like you, I'll change the license. You fucked. You fucked. I just change it. So they don't take a cut yet, but they can do it later. If someone gets popular, it's a Kickstarter. Or they might change the rules on how Kickstarters work. You can't kickstart a Daggerheart version of the game unless they get a cut. Now, is that going to happen? No, but that's a worry. I don't feel safe using the license unless I do it behind closed doors, which we'll get to in a minute. So how likely are you going to get screwed in the long term? Let's be blunt. Highly likely. Unless they revise this license, here's why. Forced license update. You can't sue for IP theft unless it's a carbon copy. You can't use their brand to grow your own. So I can't piggyback using it. Like 5e did the same shit, but we found workarounds, right? And you have to remember, they do have to go after everybody if you make things under this. They can't just sort of do it. You're either all in to save your IPs or you're all out. You have to go after everybody. This is why you see Nintendo blanket sue. This is why you see Warhammer and them go after people, that kind of stuff. And I believe people should own their IPs. I have no argument on that as an artist. They can create they can end the license at any time. Section 11, they can change anything. They can just drop the license. If they get tired of updating it or they don't think it's good, they can just get rid of the license. Sure, your stuff that's out's okay, but you can't update it. What if you want to make it 2.0? You fucking can't. This is why you see, for example, we just talked about the Young Gods book and them making their own system. Because they don't have to worry about it then. That's why people are making their own systems now, because this shit sucks. So I got a pros and cons breakdown here. I went through and did edited talk with it, so that's why it's kind of updated. Rising community availability is great. The cons, license is horrible. Niche is forming around the non-crunchy emotional role play. You can't use Daggerheart in titles or covers. Critical Role connection boosts early marketability, but you waive the right to protect it. Like, it's not good. It's not good. So I talked about, what about if it's behind closed doors? Can they do anything then? If I put it behind a paywall, I'm a little safer. So, I mean, that's kind of my goal. I think I'm going to put it behind my Patreon for now until I see this license changed. People are putting out free stuff all over Reddit right now, and they're safe because they don't care. It's free, right? You're not charging it. And as soon as you start charging things, they start looking at you. You could make your own SRD and open license. We've seen people take the OGL, hack the system, and make their own. I could do that with this system. At that point, I'd just make my own. Or I'd go use a different system. I'd go use Bastionland's engine, use something along those lines. It's fucking dumb. I don't like it. There are some other things in this license that were... On the front cover, I know you can use the Darrington Press community logo. I just looked that up. So that's good. I want to be clear. I don't want to say I'm just dogging on for dogging on. I'm safe. But you're right, Nick. They can use their custom ones on the front logo, right? They have this little box here, which is the combined license for Candle Obscura. This is what has to go in your book. I like that. That's simple. I remember someone saying that if you're doing a stream, you have to read the license on air. I don't know where that is, but if that's true, no streamer's going to do that. I'm not going to read this license on air. I may put it at the end for you so you can see it. I'm not going to read it every time I'm doing a live show based around it, and no streamer's really going to do that. Unless you're paying them. This is just too much. It's too much. There's a lot of other things in here that can be really dug into that I don't like. But at the end of the day, this license is not for the content creator. It's for the producer. It reminds me of like a Fortune 500, Fortune 100, big dog license. And I know that they own a lot of other things. They have their, I'm sure video games in fucking process. We know they have their Amazon series, but the TTRPG license just should have been separate. And the digital license should have been its own thing. Exactly. As Nick said, this is trying to cover too many industries. And because of that, it's 8 pages. And a lot of this is just cross-contaminating politics for the game. I hope they revise this. And this is the one that pissed everybody off the most, I think. The DRP. And let me fully highlight this. The DRP can do whatever they want. They can update it whenever they want. It's just, no one wants this, dude. Why are you doing this to us? Is there a reason that this is important to you to do this? So, bottom line, for me, and I could go into more detail, but there's plenty of other YouTubers that have broken down the entire license, and I'll link them down below. I know the Rules Lawyer has some stuff for it. I know that Roll for Combat has talked about it. There's another, I think it's Bonus Action, another person I've been watching that had a real kind of salty take on it, same as I did. And you know what? Some of these people are going to get some of the things wrong. I think there's 2 things that Critical Role and DP need to do right now. One, they need to do a video about the license. When Arcane Library put out their license, the lawyer and Kelsey sat down and talked about how the license worked. And when there's the times you should contact them and not, and that's now a living piece that you can go look up whenever you want. This needs to happen the same way for this. They need to go through this license. While it may be boring, it would be great for all the people, and it could be linked to the license page, and it could be linked in the license explaining what's going on. But because they can update this license whenever they want, they're going to have to do addendum videos. Before a creator group that are making things and aren't 100% about how to read this, you need to go through and clarify. And especially with this combined version. The second thing they knew is they needed to split up this fucking license, dude. It's too much. Give us a digital version of it and then give us a version for tabletop RPGs. Stop fucking around. Stop trying to merge these. Just pay with your loads of money to have 2 versions made and make one good for the creators. Because as you learned with Exandria and the products that Matt Mercer and all of his team was making when they did some of that stuff, and then what Darrington Press has made for 5e, that because the community for D&D was so large, you all found success within it. But the community only gets stronger as more people create in the community. And that supports the original publishing of your core book. And as you put more things out, they're going to keep coming to you to buy those products if they're good. Well, so far, you guys are crushing it. So that they can develop in the same line as what you're designing. Because all designers that are designing under another license try to keep something similar so that they're not retraining their audience, because you've already trained them for something specifically. And in turn, us as a creator try to keep that same train going and maybe change the code of paint and some of the things and bring out rules. But you need to be the liaison between everything. You also need to be the person in the front campaigning them, just like you do with all your artists that do things and the things you put in the middle of your Critical Role streams. I know you're getting so big, it gets harder and harder, and you guys have done everything you can for the community in the past. This is the biggest step you need to take. You need to fix this license to make it for creators. That's it. You're harming the possibility of having a strong community while D&D is faltering and they're franchising the IP. That's a different story for a different day. So look, if you're looking to design for Daggerheart, down in the comments, let's talk about it. Be kind. You don't have to trash each other, but talk about what's going on in license. Are you going to develop under it? What are you waiting for? What are the line items that you don't like? These are the things that Critical Role should see. And honestly, I'm gonna be serious. I'd tag them in it. Just tag them in it. If you have something like, I would like to see this changed, tag them. They may get mad, but I think they need to hear it if they don't understand already. That's it for this. Thank you so much for listening to this little rant, a little salty here going on today, but Darrington, Critical Role, you got an amazing game. I just want your license to reflect the amazing creativity in the thing that you've made. It's not rocket science. It's just the right thing to do. Or become D&D. We've all seen how that's gone. So, done recording. Fucking, I don't like this license. And I could go through it line by line, but there are a bunch of people who have done it, and that's not what I'm here to do. I don't trust it, and that makes it bad. Part of me makes me wonder if it's because it's made in the state of California, if how their law and stuff goes, if that is part of the reason why D&DP. Maybe. So let's discuss something less sad for a few minutes here, okay? Less sad. Let me pull up a new thing. We're gonna pull up the Young Gods. This. And then I'm going to reopen this in another tab. And we're going to open up the character sheet too, because I want to see... Oops, sorry. I want to see what the character sheet looks like. So this is their character sheet for Young Gods. I'm not going to do a full review. I just want to look over it. Oh, this isn't in color? Well, that's sad. Maybe we'll do a color one later. Little Art Deco-y looking neon. I know these are neons, but it looks Art Deco. So it's a little hard to read some of this, to be honest with you. This font is a little aggressive. That's what I was thinking too. Entertainment law. Yeah. 100% they went to an entertainment law. 100%. So let's scroll through this. Let's have a little fun. Warning. This is adult. Okay? If you can't tell that from the cover, which is covers, dope. This looks like it's a cover for like an Image comic. She's holding her phone though. I like the little reference. We're gonna pull this out. We're gonna downgrade the thickness. We're gonna go with pink. Oh, they probably use pink all over this place. We'll use a green. Green. Nah, it's hard to read. Blue, maybe? Can I... Is this just the thickness? That's just the thickness. Can I upgrade the opacity somehow? No? Alright. Well, anyway. I wish this didn't have to stay up. I hate that this doesn't go away. And if I close it, I'm no longer highlighting. And if I hit H, there's some things I don't like about Sterling. I don't like this being on screen the whole time to do highlight. You're not printing this at home. That's a lot of black. I don't recognize any of these names. Content warning. Sexually explicit acts, nudity, death, suicide, body horror, supernatural horror, Gnostic horror, controversial religious themes. All right, we know what we're in for. Sea of Souls, that's what that is. That's cool. Okay, most important thing here, everybody. Are we hyperlinked? No hyperlinks. I guess this is going to change too much. Mystery edition? Mystery editor? What are you talking about, mystery editor? What do you mean? Oh, I think that's question mark so they can go back and control F search it to put in anywhere there's control F, they can go through and go, oh, we need to do something here. That's usually what this means. That's usually what that means. It's like putting the XXX. Oh, hey, Star Drew, I didn't see you showed up. How you doing, bud? Did you get your patches yet? Please let me know, because I'm making more to send out. If you did not get those ones you ordered, I need to know. Because I have to make more than and send them out by now. I'm not using standard mail. I guess I'm just going to pay the fucking $15 to send them or something. So what are our sections here? Welcome the Young Gods, Gods and Monsters, Forging Divinity, the Folklore System. I love how so many artists have 69 on their title. Was there a lot? Yeah, they do. Also, there's no hyperlink. I know. Folklore System. I mean, I'm curious about this. I like a new system. Playing with the reality. And then Young Gods. This is just holder for people who are going to be put in here for the Kickstarter. Smart. The pre-doing it. Chapter 1. It's got a Vegas feel to it. This is hard to read font to me. Art's going there. That's the red box. Bonus boxes. Throughout this book, you'll encounter boxes like this one that can give you unique about rules. Okay, cool. Goals, adversaries, and threats. There's a lot of text. A lot of text, and like, I bet you that's an art piece here. I want more art in here. I would like to see more placeholders for art, too. Folklore System, Twilight of the Gods, animated TV show, Mr. Robot, Preacher, maybe? Book of Enoch, Book of Giants, Book of Judges, Book of Plato, what is it? Timaeus by Plato, I think. The words aren't that tiny, but it's the squishiness of this font that they've chosen. Capture Tone of the Young Gods, Drive. Oh, I love Drive. John Wick, yes. Good Time, yes. The Punisher, yes. All of this is a big yes for me. That's a little big. I want all of this in my games almost all the time. So we got Dissonance, Drive, Eden, Elysium, Ephemerals, Feral Gods, Grigori. Ooh, this reminds me of when I was working on Infernal World. Ley Lines. I love me Ley Lines. I'm curious to see how they're going to use it. The interpretations is always a little different. Mastame, a faction of Grigori. Okay. Mortals, Mythos, New Gods, Old Gods, and Pagans. These are all, man, there's a lot in here. Great art again. Definitely fits the theme of their game. No keys yet? Thank you. I'm just going to remake them and send them. Maybe they'll get shipped back to me. Let me mark that, actually. Because I got to redo Nessie's, too. Nessie and yours. Thank you for letting me know. I'm very mad at mail at this point. That means that's 4 patches that are lost in the fucking mail. Gods and Monsters. I'm going to stand. I feel like I've been sitting too much today already. Also, I put a new processor in. This thing runs so much smoother now. So much smoother. Save it, Eric. I will buy it in August. Save what? You already bought them. They're already purchased. I'm sending them to you. No. No. I'll send them to you. You already purchased them. That's not how that goes. I will send them to you. I'm just going to do it with mail. With like tracking on it this time instead of stamps. Because I've been using stamps for because there's postcards. That's why I'm mad. The fact I can't rely on stamps for postcards to get somewhere is fucking insanity. No. I'll send it. No worries, buddy. Gods and Monsters. Some of this art's really good. A little Tomb Raider-y vibe. So light, the element of illumination and revelation. The element of past and manipulation. Okay. Art. That's how I'm going to tell us his art goes in places. Right here. Let me see if I do this quicker. This way? No. This way? Yeah, whatever. Actually, no. Wait, I'm doing this wrong. Shouldn't it be... Hold on here. Hold on here. No. I don't have to buy more. You don't need that many patches. What do you do with that many patches, dude? I have new patches coming out for Breachers. You might want to wait. I'm going to do the regular Breachers logo, the Berserker, and the Cartographer. And then I'm going to try to get them done for the Cook, the Lancer, and the Cyanide as well. They're all going to get their own covers because I think I'm going to get metal disc plates that you can get. He wants all the patches. They don't need to be saved that much. Let them die. What's up, buddy? We're looking through Young Gods after you missed my rant, Cypher. I just blew up about the Daggerheart, fucking license. Born Primordial. I don't mind the look of this. I'm like reading a novel right now. It's just novel. Oh, dude, they're going all out with their art in this. They said it was adult. Is this full on adult? No, they're covered. Gods in Time, Resilience overview. I feel like this is not teaching me to make a character very well. You know what I mean? Like, at all. It's not teaching you to make a character at all. This looks like a dick. Art holding penis. So, I guess from looking at this, these are the different god types. You're the Primordial Born, an Abyssal Imprisoned, a God Slayer, a Wild Mother. That art's going to be insane. Yeah, these are the classes so far, I think, essentially. Rags to Riches, Modern Mythos, Media. Okay, cool. Oh, you all know I love the concept of bringing fame of a game, like fame of stuff, into a game. And that makes me really happy. Okay. Lots of art going in. But see, like, this art's cool too, but I'm waiting for, like, they need an explanation page. And maybe, again, this is early beta. It's not going out yet. I do hope they give us some ideas on, like, how to fucking build this stuff. Because right now, like, these titles are, okay. I know that I do the same thing. And I use titles that don't make sense to what some things are. Like, for example, let me pull up Breachers. So when I did Breachers, if I go to my table of contents in Breachers, here. I still made sure to make the titles things that you know in the table of contents. Right? Ancestries, Dungeon Chef, and I probably should have put classes above this, and I didn't. I just did the class pieces because I wanted to fit a structure. But I probably could have. But I tried to use terminology you know for the bold print. Like, what is Breachers? What is Breacher Mode? Keymaster, Breacher Gear, Chapter 3, Into the Breach, Secrets, Sojourn Rules, and then Everpeak carousal tables on the back of the book. But when we look at this, they're naming things like Puppeteer of Nations. No one knows the fuck of this is. It should have been like Modern Mythos than Puppeteer of Nations. Like I want this stuff for flavor, but I need to be educated before you can flavor text me. I know that's setting text. I get it. Your drives, compulsions. I might do a deep dive on this on screen. I also don't like this at all. First off, these are not necessary. You don't need those. I think it should have been chapter, and I think the 3 should have went here. They should have centered chapter and put 3 or something like that. Because it's weighted weird. Especially because the underline and the spacing. This gap, it's just awkward. I don't like it. You have to play really weird when you play with these lines. So this is Forging Divinity. It's a privilege of the gods to want nothing, and of godlike men to want little. This is chapters 1 and 2. Okay? All right. This is the first... I feel like this is the first call-out box we've seen in 39 pages. Dysphoria, race, and mortal concerns. So, okay, now we're into, it looks like the step 1, the idea. So this is, they're walking you through their process here, finally. So we are 38 pages in before they're teaching us their game. I have some strong design feelings on this kind of stuff. I guess they want to educate you on their setting before you are taught how to make your character. But when you front load lore this heavy, people skip it and never read it. If this was to reference it and then page number it or hyperlink it, maybe they'll do this in the future, this would be a better starting point. I think they should have taught their dice system up front. I would rather know the dice I have to, like when I sit down, I want to know the dice I have to have. The character sheet should be there as well. A breakdown of what's on the character sheet for future reference. And then going from there. There needs to be a how-to in this. Like when I made Breachers, I didn't have to do that because Shadow Dart does it for me, but they're making their own system. So it's a little different. Like my Sojourn rules that I'm working on right now definitely walk you through the process. There's 2-page spreads for it. Okay, step 1. But this doesn't say pick or do anything. They're just titles. Forging Divinity. Step 2, the body. This character, these people are World of Darkness fans. Nothing wrong with it. I like World of Darkness too. But you can tell the World of Darkness call out when they're doing these pips. Just the way they're doing it. I even bet their abilities do different things based on how many pips you have. But this is a lot of just... These should be color-coded, I think. Something needs to call out. This is too much black for this style. I would like to have seen each personally. It'd be cool if this was done in a color. Maybe this was done in another color to break it down a little more. But now we get our physical characteristics. We got strength, agility, grit, which is like toughness, it looks like. It should be an outline or a timeline. Mental cases. If you're doing lore up front, 1 to 2 pages of big changes, then rules. Add lore, class, and ancestry. Yeah. So I think it should be a timeline. In a game like this, in a modern thing, I think the timeline would be a great thing in the front. Or to have the timeline along the edge of the pages would be kind of cool in the beginning. While they're teaching you dice and shit like that. Like, really use the space. But I like these to be different colors, because you're just getting lost trying to find them all. Mental characteristics, intellect, wit. Like, it's just... This is just kind of lost in the sauce here. You know what I mean? Like, you don't... It's not easy to find. I feel like I'm reading a White Wolf book from the 90s. Or 2000s, even. It just has a really odd sense about it. You know what I mean? And maybe this could change on their design pass. This is just their prototype, so I'm not going to diss it if someone puts out working prototypes the whole time. These are things I would like to see changed if they are still in the process of doing so. And more art. Or maybe even more explaining how-tos. So now, like, you have this assigning skills and dots, right? This section here is very important, but it doesn't look like it is important. There's no breakdown in how they call out important sections. So each characteristic has 6 dots at Divinity 1. And a lot of changing of terms. Each character begins with 1 dot assigned to them automatically prior to the distribution. Assign values 5, 4, 3 to each of the 3 categories. So 5, 4, 3 to physical, mental, social. Okay, easy. That's really quick. For example, they give you an example piece. I bet you this might be sample art of a character sheet and how they do it. Skills, technical skills of characters is learned many of the years. Beginning of the game, there are things that have sought out and trained and learned their own volition. So do we get skill points? I bet you they tell us afterwards. Their order of teaching seems to be read me, then teach you. So I bet you at the end of all of this, does it tell you how to assign skills? No. Well, what's the character sheet have on it? So you're assigning dots to these, but when -1, -3, -2? Why would you dock points from me? That I don't understand. That I don't get. And I don't see anywhere in the skills section. Teaching skills your characters have learned many years of the prior beginning of the game. These things they have sought after, trained, and learned on their own volition. The characters' skills have the same 3 categories, but they don't tell you how to spend points. Do you do it again? All right, well, I can't find it in this amount of time, which means that it's not called out very well. In my eyes. It should have been right at the beginning. At the beginning of this section, they need a sheet that's like assign the 5, 4, 3 to each of the categories, and then it should be skills, assign 5, 4, 3 to each of these categories, or 3, 2, 1. Because there's no way you're starting with a 5 in something. It would be ridiculous. And what I'm guessing they're doing here is this is my guess. These pips are going to be whatever the physical skill is, -1. But these don't tell you what pairs up. Like firearms is obviously agility. So it'd be whatever your agility skill is -1. I think that's how they want you to do this. Man, that sucks for mental then. Weird. I'm curious to see how this works. Oh, here we go. Skill absences. Sometimes it's crucial to know a skill. I'm going to slide this over. I feel like I'm reading off camera too much. Sometimes it's crucial to assign a skill you know and not having anything in it so much worse than having a single dot whenever you roll a test using a skill with no dots in it. You take a penalty to the entire test. Oh, so if you have no dots, that's what that's for. Okay, so there's teaching you. But they haven't taught you where to get it. Assigning skill dots. Here we go. See again. This needs to be a different header or it needs to be a different size. I missed that, what, 3 times I've scrolled through this? So max 5 dots. Each skill begins with 0 dots to prior. Assign 10, 7, and 4 to each of your character's 3 skill categories. 10, 7, and 4. 10, 7, 4, maybe that's how they want you to do it? Yeah. So you get one that has, so example, physical category, you'd have 10, and you divide it through them all. Okay, so 10, 7, 4. All right, I got you. And then there's expertise. Our unique specific. So this is, again, just White Wolf using D12. Okay. So far, this is almost identical to a vampire game. So far. And you can do expertise. Usually that pumps up that one thing up and everything else goes down by 1. Yeah, so it counts as 11 up test. You're already 11 up. Upgrades to a 10 up. So expertise changes the member. 10 and 11 is a success, and a 12 is a crit. So expertise means you score higher on your rolls. Okay, great. Ugh. This needs to be redone. This is ugly. This table's ugly. Maybe it'll get wider once they fill this out. You know what I mean? Maybe it'll go all the way across the bottom. But something around that reads... I don't know. I think it's this font. I wouldn't be using this font for these headings. I would pick a third font. You're only using 2 font format. I think I would keep this font. There's no here. Look at, they're using this. Whatever. Numina is a source of power, so it's like your blood, but it's Numina. Eero is a measure of a god's synchronization with their true former selves. Okay, cool. I like that. Forging Divinity. Lots of stats here, lots of things. Way more than I thought. So Divinity gives you characteristic maximums. So it's like blood. This is the same exact thing as generation, actually, in Vampire, your gen. So this is determining your max stats, your actual max per round. It's determining drive and technique. Okay, cool. Right now, this just feels like... That was designer frustration for sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely looking at this through a layout and a designer. God's 3 or 4 turn attack. Yeah, so it looks like characteristic max, Actus max is different. This is how much they can spend per round. And drive mythos, so it's not how many attacks they get. Actus is a different thing. Also, that T and this font is too much. It bumps it up so high to that. I would only use this font, like, and only in this font size, because, like, look at it here. Like, we're gonna scroll. See how the T lines up here, right? I don't know if you notice this, but you can see the fucking breaks in it. And if you go up to where was it at? Hold on here. Here, it really bumps weird. Well, this is still, again, this is early access. This is early access. This is not a... I'm talking about things I would like to see changed. The biggest thing I want is this heading to be different, to call out better. And I would like maybe mechanics to be called out a little easier. So bestowments or something else, they can give you, like, the final step in solidifying your young god Numera is the creation of bestowment. These are unique modifications of the character that help them set apart mechanically and thematically from the rest of their allies, or form other entities in the world around them. Some examples exist regarding bestowments that can be chosen from, but do not be afraid to pitch ideas to the narrator and see what you can make up. See the list of sample young gods on page 74 for bestowment ideas. So achievement perfection excess on 3 hits instead of 5 hits, and a characteristic, grant a talent. So this is cool. You got, like, extra advantages that your character gets. You have to choose a mythos where you're from. You have to pick a mythos drive, which I like all of this. I think this is cool. Step 4, the identity. Your talent fidelity, your style talents, your faults, your restrictive talents, your mortal talents. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. Forging Divinity, Meat Shield. Love hearing that. And this is a new version of the old system. My guess, and I wouldn't know this unless I interview them. Like, let's be real for a second. I feel like when they were making Young Gods, they went, man, we love the old White Wolf system. Let's make that. but let's use D12s instead of D10s. We want a little more variancy. Let's give a few more options. They kept what they love, which is what designers do and should do. So Young Gods to me feels like they went, let's make our versions of this, but for deities. My guess is maybe they were Exalted fans. Maybe. They obviously like TV shows that I like, for sure. Supernatural, all that kind of stuff. So this is cool. I'm curious to see what the final version looks like. I'm not seeing the adultness other than some of the art. I'm assuming they got a lot of really good artists from probably Patreon, maybe some from, what's that other one that everyone puts their art on? DeviantArt. Hands-on training. Okay, so these are all training things. We're going to scroll through this part quick. I want to see we get, look at this lack of, this is really art dry. That's fire though. That's actually really cool looking. This is a cool piece. Then you got faults. So you got a little bit of the Shadowrun influence. I think Vampire had perks and flaws kind of thing. Why is this art red? Everything else has been black. Why is this one red? Maybe they're doing their phasing of when art's rolling in, or maybe that means they still need to find someone to do art for it. Curious to see if that's what it is. The minutia. Below is a quick summary of everything talked about in the character creation section. I would want this up front. I would move this page to the start. And I would copy it and put it in the back of the book too if they haven't done it. They may have, we're not there. But this is everything they talked about. This is important. Could use some layout love though. So they have gods already. So Lily Black. Blake Ferris, or Farkas. He's a psychopomp. So what is she? Queen of Strippers? Amazing. Life Psychopomp. Wednesday Ravensburg. The All-Father of Pigeons. Reincarnation of Odin. Wait, that's Odin. This is Anubis. Who's she? Lilith. Okay. I see where we're going with this. This has definitely got the gods version. Tizzle Ramos, I think that's right. Fascist tool turned rebel. Mayan god. Crown healing. She doesn't look like she heals people. She looks like she fucking murders people. The human dialect. Lisa, God, Gabe, Vodon, creation, destruction. No art. So I don't even know where they're going to put art at on this page. There's no space. Maybe she'll get a second page. More art. I love that they do what I do for marking stuff, though. Basics. All right, so this is how the attack system works. Brass tacks. Okay. They need another heading. This is hard for me to tolerate reading. That is not Thor. No, it is not Thor, Star Drew. There is a lady Thor, though. She was dope. I don't want to ruin it in case you didn't read it. Oh. This needs to be a different font. Painful. A lot of outcomes. Chases with vehicles, animals. Okay, cool. They give you a little chase thing. A little base breakdown. Nice. Crafting rules. Hitting that danger zone with this, dude. Crafting rules are hard. Everybody wants more or less when you make crafting rules. You almost need to make like a light mechanic and a detailed mechanic. And you're a god. Don't you just clap your hands? I don't dislike what I'm reading, though. I love the cost and point structure from Vampire. So I'm glad they kind of kept that. Like, the more points you have in a skill, there's cooler things you can do. It gives the GM an idea of mythical, powerful, supernatural creatures' abilities by making those dots kind of be the scale of how strong you are. I've always enjoyed that. This is one of my biggest arguments in... Look, if you play superhero games... In your superhero game, Spigs, if you're still here, you know what I'm talking about. If you do a superhero game where there are power shifts like MCG did originally before we got their superhero book, we really need to know the breadth of the power shifts. We need to know the breadth of what a 1 through 5 is in this game. Like, what can a 1 do? What can a 5 do? Showcasing what those things do is really awesome. And that lets a GM as a narrator and a player as a co-op person in the storytelling be able to really figure out how much somebody can do. Really cool. If the shockwave kills us, clap your hands. What are you talking about? Did I miss something? Was there something in here in the pages that I missed? So I got relationship shit, relationship levels. Okay. I think even if this was a font size smaller to identify it and bolded, it might help. I don't know what that font, well, that's what it looks like bolded. So maybe bolded for some of it. It just needs some love. Or maybe in every other color to break it up too. I don't know. It just needs a little bit. So what's this? Experience progression. Gaining experience. Experience and potential. Experiences are the main way to earn potential. So potential is kind of like the points that you spend. Oh, happy you know it, Tune. God, I see. I see. Cool. Folklore system. This is cool. So this folklore system, when I was reading the breakdown, when I was wanting to look at this, it said talent dots, skill dots, expertise. This is how you break down everything and what you do. Determination can only be purchased if a burn has experience page X. So they haven't put this in here yet. So this is an X. As far as they didn't use a question. Well, question mark would be hard. Which reduces a character's total determination available to them. This is the only way to enhance maximum determination. So you burn yourself to gain permanent abilities. Desires, post-session stuff. I like this growth. One page seems short. Is that all? It's only one page? I hope they expand upon this. You can't call it a folklore system in a book that's 150-something pages and give me one page. This is their experience. At the end of every session, narrator asks, so it was like those 5-6 questions you ask in like Blades in the Dark. States of health, this is how you take your damage, how you mark it. But we've all seen this. Partial wound. Right here. Left. Boop. Receive a lethal wound. Boop. Update the boxes, right? So you get normal boxes and then wounds. We've seen this in numerous games. An immortal wound is filled in. They're going to have to make a clickable character sheet. 100% need to do that. If they haven't done it, I highly recommend. Young guys, if you're watching this, please make a clickable form-fill character sheet for this game. It'll make it so much easier, and make it so it functions on the phone. So people can just have their phone sitting down and they can click through this stuff really cleanly. Either have it be a PDF or an app that you download as a stretch goal. I think that would be really, really smart, because that is something that has been missing from a lot of games over the years. Put some money into that resource. Put it out for free. Anyone who's in the back, the backs it, and then like 99 cents or something to download it, or free. So people are playing your game. Just put something out for it. It makes a big difference. Healing, young gods, healing as gods. Okay, we got healing stuff. Okay, so now more folklore system. Is it folklore? That's what it is. Folklore, and the other page is young gods. I see. Okay, so they are giving us more folklore. This is the entire mechanic for the game. Combat attacks. FLM. Flesh, lethal, mortal. All right. That must be the kind of damage things does. No more, I mean, obviously all the art's not in place, but I'm just seeing a lot of areas where art isn't even put in for things. Quick draw combat, social combat. I like me some social combat rules for people who aren't socially adept. As a role player, like they're still learning. Also, role-playing makes you a better person to learn how to talk to people. It really makes a big difference if you don't play a lot of TTRPGs. Your equipment list. This could use some love. Every other color, broken down. Ranged. I think you should break this up between ranged and melee. I don't like it all in one table. It makes it hard to find things. Even if, because you have this extra space down here. Even if you broke it down between ranged, so melee, and then ranged, so it's easier. I see you did this already here, right? And you got the divide here. But if you just add a box in here that goes across this entire thing that says ranged, it would fix a lot of that stuff. Put bows at the top of it, and then put all your pistols and stuff below it. I think that would help a ton. Just more readability. Folklore system. Weapon tags, different versions. Armor, how armor works. Art. Playing with reality. This is cool. You can do like miracles and tech stuff and like bend reality. I always like that kind of stuff. It gives a lot of free form to what's going on. I don't know how they're going to limit miracles. If it's based on a skill you have or something, but I hope so. It's pretty cool. Duration. Range. Okay, let's scroll through here. I just want to see the categories. Example of miracles. So let's look at one of these. Underworld Walker. Fire. Anemos. Grant a bonus to humanoid entities in running, melee attacks, etc. Restore determination on all humanoid entities. Warn an entity who is currently cold, so you can warm them, so stop them from freezing. Ignite flammable materials, throw a fireball, purify metal or liquid. Ego, manipulate, so this looks like it's physical, mental is what they're doing. Manipulate flames of the underworld, ignite the forests of Arcadia, bring supernatural fire through a slipgate, create a slipgate to the underworld, enhance your speed, initiative, strength. Shadow, ignite a monster or beast in flames, enhance a monster's beast determination. So they're like broad spells that let you play within them. I like this kind of play. I hope there's a point assignment or something that lets you know how much you can do. And I'm sure there is. We're just not reading the rules like really deep right now. I love the idea of memory and death for these. Beauty, that's pretty fucking cool. I hope some of these are really tied to like technology and you know, TikToks and streaming platforms and shit like that. I think you could do a lot of really cool stuff. If you've seen, there is a horror movie where they're doing exorcisms. Hold on here. Streaming an exorcism. The Cleansing Hour. If you haven't seen the Cleansing Hour, it's on either Shudder or Thriller. I'm not sure which one, but it's a really cool version of like what happens when a demon gets to be on stream. It's really fun. Lots of good stuff in here. This is cool. I like the abilities, a good amount of them, to be honest. Rags to riches media right here. Make a humanoid entity famous, steal a humanoid entity's fame, twist the spoken truth. This is dope. You know I would be using this rags to riches. This is fucking clutch. Psychology, arte, learn to control human entity. Okay. Chemistry, repurpose. This is still being done. Technology, wealth, dissonance. Okay. We're going to keep going here. They don't have any of their art yet, so you can definitely see their Kickstarter is going to be for this. This is important. I think deities get their power through this kind of stuff, so having a worship section is huge. Worship test, what you get out of it. You can have organizations, hymns, locations, eidolons, offerings. I dig this. New, Jesus Christ. This is someone's fanfic. 4 eyes, too. Someone's fanfic. Look at this shit. This is media, obviously. Reenactments. Worship withdrawal. That's kind of cool. So if you're playing the deity, I wonder if this is for the people who follow you, or maybe it's you because you're a deity's avatar, it seems like, or the demigod. Searchlights. When a young god or brazen are stupid enough to make their presence known, the hunt officially begins. With usurpers attempting to identify their competitors via a searchlight test, they understand their position. The top is tenuous at best. We've seen many of the new gods become old or forgotten due to the passage of time. Fact list of the human persistence searchlight test are rolled by young gods. I feel like you're gonna need a really, really, really good group to play this. Because they gotta watch some of these series. They have to be fans of like old gods and shit like that. Not old gods. American gods and Supernatural to really run this well, because you're almost playing the villain role. You're not playing Dean and Sam. You really... This is the same problem with Vampire. I think Vampire people who play that or LARP it would really enjoy this game. I would run this in a heartbeat just to see if I can do it. This would be a good private game too. Streaming this would be hard. God, I can imagine what the LARPs are going to be like for this game. Holy shit. Anointments. I wonder if they're going to put out LARP rules. That's it. Young Gods, are you going to put out LARP rules for this? That's a really fine question. Young God LARP rules. What do you guys do? Do you just rent hotels for this shit? Because it would be really difficult to do otherwise. I don't think you're doing this at the Ren Fair. Vegas, maybe? Run your LARP at Vegas? Cheap. $99 flight. Oh my God, could you imagine doing a LARP of this where everybody has their own either TikTok or Facebook that's private, that everyone going to the event follows each other, and you start propagating all of your posts and things in character, since this is modern day? Or a Discord server for it, that could be really cool too. There is some really fun LARP stuff that you could do for this, I think. And then combine it with like tabletop as well, like maybe run a tabletop session as well, and all the LARP kind of surrounds it. I like some of this. Good ideas. I love LARPs at conventions that are like tabletop mixtures where there's stuff going on with a little bit of live action to it to really kind of let people come out of their shell and play their character. You don't even have to dress up for it if you don't want. Just those, like, the stepping stone to getting people to want to act more. Modern atonements. Alien physiology. There's some really cool shit in here. It's a good merger of ideas. I'm going to have to sit down and actually read through all of this. There's a lot of TBAs in there. Some more art. Creepy. Proportions are creepy. Hands are longer. Look at the toes. They're like spread apart on purpose. Weird. From the cleavage as worshippers, yeah. I think Ren Fairs are already LARPs. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. What's this? DAPA? Oh, these are examples of people. This guy looks like he came from the Crow. Cool. Oh, nudity. I'm gonna have to scroll past that fast. You know, it's a deer. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Only one in here so far. We'll scroll by it. Hammer City Games. This is pretty cool, man. I like it. I want a different character sheet. It needs some layout love. I see what they try to do with a lot of this, but I feel like a lot of it needs to be touched up. This is fun. This is a fun piece. So, look, I think that this has potential. There's definitely an audience for it. We should, for sure, be looking out for this in the future. Maybe I'll talk to them about coming on and doing an interview. This would be a fun interview. Hold on here. Let me make a little note here. Interview. Hammer Games. Maybe I'll see if I can get them on here in the next couple of months. We're going to be changing some stuff for EFP soon. So I did want one more thing I'm going to show you, then I'm going to bounce. So I've been working on my Magic and Monster stuff. I did a bunch of the layout stuff. I did some of this on the Rise and Design if you missed it. But I've been setting this together. And I'm going to put this out on Patreon. And my goal is, I think I'm going to have this out for this coming Patreon. The rough of this is going to come out for August before I leave. Because I already have it all done. I just got to reword it and re-put things in place. So here's what we got so far. This is a placeholder for the logo because it's going to be the two mountains that look like M's. I just need to draw it. So this is inside cover. Same update. You can see we follow the same thing. Blank page for printing. I can either keep it or remove it. I made my top pieces and bottom pieces. I want a kind of like an Art Deco looking style. So I made custom ones with the Magic and Monsters mark at the top. I have the press thing that I have to have down here. And then I'm going to do page numbers on each side that are centered like this. And I have a left and a right page, right? This was the placeholder I did kind of to fill it. I love the 2 M's, and I'm probably going to put 2 smaller M's in the middle for the Magic and Monsters Marks of Men with different art in them to represent the different ages of Magic and Monsters. Right now, this is placeholder art that they have in here. I just grabbed placeholder art that they had in the Elements section, which means it's fair for me to use it, which is good. So I'm going to do this, put this together, and put the other M's in. You can see I already have this in. I put random words in here. That's kind of the pink that I'm going to use for it. These are the fonts I'm going with currently. You can see in the background I have the faded version of the cover. And then these are just blank pages laying me out to get ready to run. But you can see I've broke them down already. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Hold on. You can see I have the GM principles, PC principles, inciting incident, and I'm going to take the stuff that I already have for Magic and Monsters because, for those of you that don't know, I have a lot. I have a lot for Magic and Monsters, everybody. Got it. Don't care. I've already done a full 5e version of this. This is the old logo. I just want to change it. But you can see I've already got a 54-page doc in here that I can add in. I have the introduction. I have the history of the ages. This is all just text-based. I have my gods that are in here. Everything is already set up. So I think I could take this and retrofit it. And there's also be a new ancestry. Two ancestries? No, one ancestry. The Castling will be one of them. They're an offshoot of a doppelganger. Basically, when a doppelganger sheds an identity, because they can only hold so many identities in this world, they become this halfling-like castling. And they have the grand scheme of wanting to do something still that their former version of themselves did. So I have all of this stuff done, right? So I think I can get this put into here pretty cleanly. I really do. Campaign mechanics will be a couple pages worth, I think. The secret game will be put in here because you guys know all of my secrets. The School of Magic, I'll put some cards in here that'll be printable as well. But I think I'm going to start laying this out for your right page and your left page, and you can kind of see all of the process I did during the live show, finding the fonts that I like, what I want to use, some of the art, the modified art that I've done, the old logos. I have all the Daggerheart stuff in here. And then this is the map that I have that I drew. That this is the only map you use in the game because everything outside of that valley in the world doesn't matter. You're playing the central focus of the world. And if your GM wants to take you to other areas other than this, they just pick a fucking map to use. So, and this is Udarak, and this is Imperia, which is where all the monsters are from. They're over here. So, and I have different versions of this. If I send this back, you can see the blue and red line version. And if I send this back all the way, I have a color version that I was working on, but I ended up going away from this. I don't think I'm going to do the color version unless I just highlight where areas are. And this is just base tones that you can see. But this is the whole map. This is it. And this centerpiece changes so frequently from Magic manipulating it and fucking up the land that you can change sections in there however you want to be whatever you want for your game. A lot of the stuff happens in the courts area, so I need to make something for that as well. But we're pretty far. So I'm going to convert all of this over from here over to this. I think it'll be a slightly larger framework than we're used to seeing. It's almost a campaign book. But I think I can lay this out pretty quick over the next week. The cartographer will get its final update, and that's the stuff you're going to see on Patreon. If you haven't subscribed either for free or your paid version of the Patreon membership, look down below. There's a link for it. I'm also going to be posting some more stuff in Discord here over the next couple weeks about what's going on Patreon. Patreon gets access to everything before it goes public. Like, they already have the cartographer. If you're interested in the cartographer class for breachers, it's already out to them. So if you want things that you see me design on the show early, like this, you can get access to it right now through the Patreon. And this got the cartographer, the talents, my little buddy here, Yule, which really is based on my buddy Josh. Cartographer gear, upgraded gear, and then right here, the Advanced Sojourns is going to get its own new section for what you can do running Sojourns. It's just going to be a couple pages, and then new locations are going to go back here as well. This will be done by the end of the month for people to use. But if you're interested in getting that stuff, you can find it over on Patreon. It's a great way to support. But anyone who's done anything from buying patches to getting shirts to any of the merch, to people who bought copies of it, Berserker is now to purchase now as well. Really helps what I do here, because when I leave summer, I basically go back to full-time freelancing and doing this. So that's it for me today. A little longer, but I felt like you guys deserved it. I haven't been around for 2 weeks because of just how the weeks have fallen. I will be back tomorrow as well. I think we're going to be doing some Rise and Design tomorrow. I got a lot to do, as you can see. I'm going to work on some stuff tomorrow instead of Saturday because I have to work on Saturday. That's it for me. Have a great day, everybody. And stay fucking rotten. Go harass Darrington Press. Make them change their shit. Bye, everybody. Oh, I almost forgot. We can do this now. I shouldn't say bye. Hold on. Hold on. I forgot something very important. Very important. Where are you? Where are you? No. No. Where are you at? Uh-oh. Is my button not working? There we go. So thank you to all my patrons who have backed me and put things on. I forgot to do this for you guys today, so I'm going to do it right now. These are the people who are making the stuff that I do possible, that have either backed at a level, purchase level, anytime over the year. They're a part of my Patreon game, and I'm getting ready to run a motherboard for Daggerheart. So if you want in on that, let me know. Thank you so much. That's the end of the show. How could I forget that? I'm such a clown.